In my childhood, it was a lot of scarcity mindset. Go to school, get a job, work at the job for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, and then retire, right? So that was my mindset. That's all I ever knew.
I just remember getting home after when we got home and I just collapsed. The adrenaline, it just been like going through me.
I've been saying this a lot lately. You must believe to achieve. Like, I want to be the best husband for my wife. I want to be the best father. I want to be the best leader for my team. I want to be the best.
If there's one thing I know about Sean, it's his planner, and his planner has helped him succeed in life.
Just sitting over here as your best friend and partner, I'm like, if this guy can do this, what it would take most people 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, 3 years, you did it in 2 weeks. I'm sitting here thinking, like, if we apply those same principles, man, anything that you want to do in your life, you can move the needle in.
The biggest wake-up call in my life, and what I've learned from coachees and people in my life, is you have to take a look at yourself in the mirror and realize that, hey, where are my beliefs? Where are my limiting beliefs? Where is my self-doubts? Where is this showing up?
That is what working on the business is. Freeing yourself up to spend time to look at the big picture. If you're always busy, you can't look at the big picture. You can't.
What do you want your business to do for you? Do you want to be that self-employed that does the emails and the phone calls? Cool. Probably not a podcast for you.
It is the thing that we should seek out, because what is behind the guidance? It's the information that we want. It's the catalyst that will get us to where we want to go.
Level up and live.
Level up and live.
If you've been tuning into the Level Up and Live podcast, you already know we're all about mastermind groups. Well, here's the deal. We're opening up just 2 spots in our exclusive mastermind group to a 30-day free trial. If you're serious about creating long-term, extraordinary results, this is your shot. You'll lock in habits that work for anyone, anywhere, giving you the confidence and energy to keep growing. You'll know exactly where to focus your efforts, how to maximize impact, and how to keep leveling up after you've tasted success. And here's the kicker. When you surround yourself with high-level players, you become one. So if you're ready to play at the top, reach out and let's see if you're a fit. Click the link in the show notes, schedule a call with us, and let's talk.
I was thinking about this the other day. For so long, people separate the body, getting fit, from the mind. If people have mental health issues, they go see a doctor and they give them pills, or they go see counseling, they go see therapy. But you don't often hear them ask, "What's your physical activity level? What's your sleep routine like? What's the diet?" And we completely separate them. We got the physical body and we have the mental mind state, and they are so linked that there's almost zero reason discussing them as separate pieces. One affects the other and the other affects the other, vice versa. So today we're going to discuss having Greek god muscles will give you Mount Olympus success, not just in business, but in all things in life. Me and Sean both have testimonies of where we were not doing maybe any of the things that were good for us, maybe 1 or 2, but doing 15 things that would counterbalance the things that we do. And lo and behold, as we've tweaked and leveled up in each area of our lives, we've significantly seen the increases mentally. Like anytime that you double down on your diet and your sleep and your exercise, your brain will be in fantastic shape. You might not even recognize what it feels like because you might have been below baseline for so long. I know I have. Yes. I had been. And you really don't even realize what normal feels like. So it is worth everything. It's worth its weight in gold and more to make sure that you take care of your physical body. And then you're going to have all those things that you want out here in life, where your brain will be optimal. And when your brain's optimal, what's possible? Just about anything. Anything's possible when the brain is in the right place. So today we're going to discuss all those things, and can't wait to get into it, man. What do you say to that?
I say that's the episode. 2 minutes, bro. We should click it right there. What else?
See you.
What else do you need to know, man? Like you hit the nail right on the head. And one of the things that I heard you say is that the baseline, because a lot of times what you don't know is what you don't know. So if you're going through life and you're doing the same thing over and over and over, and you're focused in one area of life, whether that's business, and I know we have a lot of entrepreneurs, sales folks, business owners, and entrepreneurs that listen to this. So they're focused on maybe it's hiring, or maybe it's sales, or maybe it's marketing. Where focus goes, energy flows. And so you're neglecting or maintaining these other areas of life, and you're not aware of the baseline of that maintenance. And so what I'm hearing you say is when you improve in today's episode, what we're talking about, health, wellness, mental well-being and heart set, all these different areas of physical fitness and mental fitness, it improves that baseline. When you improve that baseline in that area of life, everything else seems to come with it.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm hearing you say. And some of the key points that I had made notes today were that has helped me in my own life that I wanted to share. And you can tag along with these and dovetail if you'd like. But is physical fitness fuels my mental fitness.
Yes.
So being physically fit versus, so the guy at 195, 8% body fat versus the guy that I used to be, the business owner that was at 220, 225, it has enhanced my focus, mental clarity, and decision making in the essentials of running a business on a daily basis, right? Not on a weekly or a quarterly or a yearly basis, but I'm here for the long term. So what's going to be sustainable? And that's that physical fitness, which fuels that mental fitness to align that with running a business. Also, energy and stamina. If I don't have the energy to have a one-on-one coaching call or have a call with a customer, a fit business owner, from what I'm hearing you say, is going to have more energy and stamina than a non-fit business owner. And the reason I'm saying that is because I've been that guy. I've been the guy that was not fit, that sat on the couch, that ate the burgers, the tacos, because that's all I knew. That was the baseline, like you said earlier. Now, the problem with that is when you hit stressful situations and when you hit high demands, what's going to happen? It's only a matter of time before you fold. Another thing that's helped me out, a key point, is discipline and consistency. If you're consistent, how you do one thing is how you do everything. So if you're consistent on exercising and working out, whether that's simple push-ups or simple just showing up to the gym, just lacing up your shoes every single day, you develop that discipline and those positive habits of a fit business owner. These habits will align in business as well, what I have found. So by pushing through the discomfort, I don't want to wake up. I want to hit the snooze button. It's raining outside and I don't want to go run, or I don't want to go walk, or I don't want to go to the gym. Whatever the excuse may be, pushing through that discomfort, the transition is the same thing in business, because those same thing in businesses are going to happen, right? The rain's going to hit. You're not going to feel like picking up that phone call. And I'll stop there. You and I got a few more points, but you want to add anything to that?
Yeah, no, man, all of that is 100% spot on. And it's overall big picture. I think everybody understands that, but I don't think people realize that in the moment, what they're doing, what they've currently been doing is impacting them. I know for me, it would be as simple as a sharper response to someone. I wouldn't have as much patience, right? Because my brain is not functioning at full capacity because it's not getting all the things that it's needed. We've all heard this analogy before. I was telling my kids the other day, if you eat sugar, if you eat anything fried, all those things, they taste delicious. But if you had a Ferrari, and we've all heard, again, this is not the first time people probably heard this. You had a Ferrari and you put in junky gas, right? It's going to make that vehicle run poorly. It's going to end up in the shop. It's going to sputter. And the brain, the body, it's zero difference. We are Ferraris, right? We are elite level machines that we fill with junk. And we're not pointing a finger at anybody here. We've done it. We've been down the deep pain, the hole of not feeling good, that brain fog. And then it shows up, right? So you fuel your machine, and the sputtering, like with the example of the car, you will sputter in your life when you're conversating with people, customers, patients, energy levels to pursue dreams and goals. And you do it long enough, you're really reinforcing the identity that this is how it is. This is how I am. This is just what happens. And it does not feel good. I'm going to repeat that. It doesn't feel good. And that's what it's all about, right? Because your moments of your life, the quality of your moments is your life. We've said that a number of times here recently. But if you're not focusing on all the things that you just said, the quality of life, like if you could be at 100 and you're running it at 64, that's not good. That's not fun. Like if you're not anywhere 85 plus, you're not living your best life. Knowing this, hearing this, and we know we have the blueprint, we listen to podcasts like this, but why do we still do it anyways? Why don't we, you're like, you know what? Let me go ahead and make a transition, a transformation. I understand what they're saying. So why don't we do it? Why do we stay at that baseline? Yeah, I think it's a slow burn. It's a slow, as you get older, things get more complex and things get more stressful. And I think it really boils down to this: things get stressful in life, and we look for outlets that feel good to compensate for what hurts.
Feel
right?
good. Yep.
It's
Feel
the
good.
feel good. And what do we want? Do we want the feel good, a month from now? No, I don't feel good today. So I want to resolve this. Let me go have a drink of beer or alcohol, right, of some sort. That will numb that pain.
Yes.
Let me go eat a bunch of something that tastes delicious. And we don't know we're doing it. It's not like we might think that we're taking these situations consciously, like I'm deciding to go do this. We're really not. We're on autopilot because we do it every single day, or at least very regularly. And so I think it's just a slow burn of those habits, making things, trying to make things feel better. Why else would we know alcohol is poison to us? We know sugar is poison. We know not sleeping is poison, right?
Yeah.
But if I put rat pills and say, hey, if you eat this, it's going to kill you, we'd be like, no way, that's ludicrous. Who would do that? But we're doing it every single day. Yes. I mean, for me, sugar was wrecking my body, wrecking my life. Like I didn't realize. And I've been addicted to it for decades.
And how did you find out?
Think about it. You're eating birthday cake when you're 7, 6. They're eating sugar from really 2 or 3 years old. We're not knocking sugar here. We're not saying, hey, you got to be perfect. And we'll get into this, I'm sure. But it's the balance, right? The balance of feeling good.
I think one of the biggest things is too that I've learned, Ewan, is where focus goes, energy flows. So if you're not focused on, right, what we've already been talking about, what's going in the body, the next thing is it's almost like, okay, I know I've got to put food in my body, right? If I don't, that's why fast food's there. That's why all the marketing, you drive down 45, you drive down the freeway, and there's billboards everywhere. It's all in front of us. And so I think that's another big thing too, is like, what are you putting in front of you and what are you being intentional about? And here's the final key ingredient. What is important to you? If you make this important to you, then you will make a change. You will make a shift because you're being intentional. Just like if your business is important to you, align that with your fitness and your exercising and your mental well-being, because it's just going to positively affect you. Yeah. And so if I'm hearing this right now, 5 years ago, I'm like, yeah, this makes sense. What do I need to do? What are some action steps? What are some solutions? And I'll get to that because I'm going to share a solution. I'm going to share some action steps here shortly. So hang tight. But if I'm listening to this, 5 years ago, also, I'm sitting here thinking, well, lean turkey meat just doesn't sound good with rice, or chicken, or I want that burger. I want that pizza, that feel good in the moment. And so I was that guy. I would just make the fast decisions. And like you said, but what you put in your body now, well, maybe you won't see results right now, but over a month, but over 2 months, but over 3 months. And over time, you will start to feel that fatigue. Then you'll look at yourself in the mirror, take your shirt off and go, holy cow, I'm gained 25 pounds. Yeah. And the reason I'm saying this, because that was me, because I was focused on all these areas of these other areas of life. But then I realized, I was like, Ewan, why am I not eating? Why am I not meal prepping? Why am I not eating at the house? I asked myself these questions. And I would challenge anybody listening to this. Why are you eating fast food? Well, it's easy, Sean. It's convenient. Okay, cool. So, and I was talking to my younger self, and so what could I do moving forward? Where there's meal delivery services out there. There's 10 different meal delivery services typically where you live that can deliver to you. That is the price of a meal. Yeah. You're going to go to McDonald's, you're going to go to these different fast food chains, and you're going to spend $10, $15. That's what it is for a meal delivery service when you break it down for 10, 15, 20 different meals. But now you're getting it delivered to your office. I used to get it delivered to my office, and I would heat it up 2 or 3 minutes, and I would put that meal in my body. Well, then I started digging a little further. I was like, well, why am I not cooking at the house? Why am I not doing this? And then I realized and I was like, it's because I don't know how to cook. I keep telling myself my identity is I don't enjoy this. Well, what if I flipped the switch and said, you know what? Just like I did with running, I do enjoy this. Yeah. I do enjoy cooking. I do enjoy the journey of who I'm becoming to get to where I want to go, that business athlete, that fit business owner, because I know this is just fueling my body. So I started flipping the switch. I started putting a different meaning to it. Now I'm like, I tell Kendra all the time, man, I can't wait to try some different spices and try up some different, I'm eating onions, and which 5 years ago, if you would have told me I was eating onions and green bell peppers, I'm like, dude, you're crazy. But if you sauteed onions and green bell peppers and these different types of good vegetables for you, dude, it's so good. You throw it on chicken and pork. So I think that's another thing too. People get stuck, myself included, was I just didn't know how to cook. I didn't have an alternative solution. I was just going for the easy route.
I think that's a lot of it right there. Is it seems if it's something you haven't done before or something you haven't done in a long time, it almost seems impossible. People think about getting fit and they're like, that's going to take forever. That's going to be years of slaving away. When in all reality, results can come very quickly. Yep. And once they start compounding, it's much easier to maintain. And then the possibilities, very hard to think about what's possible when you can't get up off the couch yet. Right. Yes. And so to me, you have to start slow. You know, you're saying McDonald's for $15 and you can get the meal delivered. I think you have to break that down. You'd have to pay up front, and that's painful. So people don't want to think about, okay, so let's say it's $500 a month, which they're already spending on the junk. But to spend it up front, it's like, oh, that's way too much money. There's no clarity there, right? Yep. Which we talk about all the time, and it shows up wherever. If you're not clear there in your diet, probably it's showing up in other areas too. If you're an entrepreneur or business owner and you're not eating healthy, I guarantee that's showing up in other areas because you haven't built that habit of seeing what is clear in your business and what's clear for your body. And so I think to begin with, if someone's listening to this and they're not willing to pay $500 for their meals up front, at least switch the McDonald's to Chipotle. Or find somewhere that's got just meat and vegetables or meat and rice or something that's cleaner. And it's just that tiny baby step into that new identity of, I made a better decision today. Yes. Even if it was, and I hate to say this, but even if you just ate half the burger, right? Or you eat the burger but you don't get the fries, you end up getting a salad with it, right? Which in my mind, even saying that, if I was to go back into burger eating mode with a salad, I'd be like, no way, man. I'm just going to eat the fries.
Not happening.
And you know, that just made me realize right there, the environment you put yourself in, right? Yeah. If I'm in a burger environment, I'm eating fries too, man. Yep. There's no way. And so I think that's true. In general, you can't go to the burger environment. Then you have to get yourself in a new environment and somewhere that, and it's going to be harder up front. And maybe only a week. It might not be as long as you might think. Go to Chipotle for a week. Right. By the end of it, you're craving some good stuff. Right. And you're not adding all the junk. P.S. You're not adding all the queso and all the things, but just eating clean, making good decisions. But it's still delicious. Like you just said, you got excited about the onions and the bell peppers. And so that to me also, that's true for everybody. They think something might not taste good today. Yeah. But in 3 months' time, you can't wait to get that thing. You've shifted your perspective, your mindset of what is good. Right. Yes. And that's what we're talking about, small, tiny details here, but this is what it is. It's not some big change where you're going to start exercising every day and you're eating clean immediately. Like you hear this episode and it just is overwhelming if you think about how to get into great shape, elite Greek god muscles, right? Like it does take time to get there, but there's only one path, and that is tiny little incremental changes up front. And that can start today for anyone.
Yep. Yeah, man. And just a couple key points that I wanted to make sure I noted here. If you're a business owner, you know, anybody that's listening to this is probably a leader, you know, within their household or even in their businesses. And so a couple more things that I relate to is when I was going through being an unfit business owner, I had health related downtime. So what that means is basically I was prone to illnesses, fatigue, burnout, leading to more downtime, you know, not going into the office, doing the things that I knew I needed to do. Now, that was the road most traveled, right? Which is what most people are doing. And then when I became fit, when I came in this health transformational journey and I started putting the right things in my body, I started getting curious. Dude, I started getting less migraines. I started being less fatigued, less sick. I would get sick. I would just naturally get sick 2 or 3 times at least every quarter, you know, up to 4 or 5 times a year. I remember the first 5 years of my business, Janice knows this, my assistant, I would have to sleep underneath the desk at the office because I was so fatigued. I would get migraines because I was not managing the stress properly. And because I was not putting the right things in my body.
That is exactly the Ferrari, just to hop in right there. If people were like, they can't relate to what there is that they're doing and how it shows up in their lives. And what you just said happened to me too. Sick 4 or 5 times a year.
Yep.
But that's putting junky gas in an elite
Yes.
level machine.
Yep.
You can't perform well.
No.
And I think it's hard for people to conceive that in their mind mentally, because you don't really see that show up. Like, because you're just putting things in your mouth that taste good.
Intangible. Yeah.
And then you don't see yourself crushed because your immune system has not gotten what it needs. And the immune system is a battery. You don't eat what you need to eat, your immune system goes down. As soon as a little bug comes along, you're going to pick it up. As opposed to, I don't think people are familiar and they're not experienced with, when your immune system's strong and a bug comes along, your immune system says, see you. It won't take it. Like, it will kick it out. And that is a phenomenal feeling, like to be able to resist being sick because of what you eat. I don't think people really talk about that enough. It's not stated enough that you can be an elite level machine that can do all the things it needs to do. We're not supposed to be getting sick, Pia. That's not normal.
Exactly.
But we do. And so anyway, I had to jump in there. That is exactly the formula, what you just said. And I think a lot of people are dealing with that right now.
And here's the last key point that I have, and I feel like this is the most important one that we've covered today: leadership by example. I didn't understand this. I never took my health, when I didn't take my health and what I was putting in my body seriously. And I would show up to the office for my entire team and I'd bring Chick-fil-A and then ranches and donuts and kolaches. Well, what am I doing as a leader? I'm contributing to them. Well, fit leaders don't do that. Fit leaders inspire their teams. They set the tone for the health, well-being, and high performance, which overall, over time, will improve that overall company culture. I've seen this firsthand in the last 12 months. Not only have we started a run club, but for leadership and for our team and for our community, but also to just inspiring them, like showing them different, like my actions, not saying it, but actually showing them actions, posting pictures and doing these kind of things, because people get familiar with what they see, right? And then if you're leading a team, or if you're leading a community, or if you're leading a household, what are your kids looking at? What are your spouses looking at? You can't sit there and point the fingers at them. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and go, okay, for things to change, I have to change. And then whether it's a week, a month, a year, doesn't matter how long it's going to take, but the people around you will start noticing. They will start taking notice, and you're leading by example, by being a fit business owner. I call it business athlete. And I actually shared a LinkedIn post the other day on social media content. And this guy on there, he had commented, I hadn't responded yet. He's like, business athlete, ?
It's a thing, man. I mean, I think, because again, we can't separate it. If you're an athlete out in the world and you're a business owner, your business is going to show up very similar. It's going to pick up inflections of what you do out here. It shows up in your business. And like you say, if someone was to think about their business and all their employees were striving towards being the better version of their fittest self, that
game over.
Think about all the additional dopamine and serotonin and all the adrenaline, all the good things that would be showing up in conversation. Again, I hate to restate it, but just that stuff shows up when it comes out your mouth when you're talking to customers. The energy that comes across to someone maybe saying yes as opposed to no, I'm not interested.
Yes,
right? It makes a difference, and it compounds and adds up. So yeah, I think being the leader, it's imperative. A healthy leader will have a healthy business if they can correlate the two. And what a beautiful world that would be too, right? It's just a better way to live. There's no version of you eating junk and having a business that's mediocre versus you that feels amazing, looks amazing, the business running smoothly, everybody's happy, everyone's rising up. And it's all possible for any single person. I don't care if you're 350 pounds right now and you're completely broken mentally, physically, spiritually. You're 18 months away from being in the best shape of your life. And you can start feeling good today. Like you don't have to wait 18 months for all the results. As soon as you start eating that healthy thing, doing that good thing for your body, getting the body moving and getting the right chemicals moving around in your body, you will start feeling good today and start getting addicted to the feeling of feeling good, not the food, right? Just a couple of minutes tastes good in your mouth, and then it's over and you pay the price. But get addicted to feeling good, and you're on the right path.
So imagine, and you know this, Ewan, and people, in my community and people listening to this, I own an insurance brokerage. And so I've got a quick little story to share. I think you'll get a crack out of this one, Ewan. So imagine two insurance agency owners, Sean and Ewan, two different agency owners. Ewan, sorry, buddy. You're the unfit business owner, right?
Been there.
Yep. Starts his day groggy and sluggish, reaching for coffee and sugar to get it going. His afternoons are a battle to stay awake. And by 3 p.m., he's drained. He skips meals, eats whatever is convenient, and sits for hours on end. His stress levels are through the roof. He's frequently sick. He's always playing catch up. His mood swings affect his team, of course, and his decisions are reactive because he's too mentally fatigued to think strategically. Sean, on the other hand, is a fit business owner. He wakes up early, energized after a solid workout, and fuels his body with a healthy, whole foods breakfast. He's sharp, alert, and focused throughout the day. He handles challenges calmly, makes decisions confidently, and inspires his team to perform at their best. By 3 p.m., while Ewan is crashing, Sean is still going strong, easily navigating the demands of business because he's physically and mentally prepared. Sean isn't just surviving his day like Ewan, he's dominating, baby. Let's go.
Dude, that's not, you told me it was going to be a story. That's not a made up story. That's actually true. That's a true story. Like, it wasn't in business ownership, but just as far as like how the day was, you were probably 18 months, 2 years. I mean, you've always been ahead of me as far as because you were doing Camp Gladiator and all that.
Yep.
And so you'd been training hard, and I just was not in a good space, and I was not feeling good, and you were just soaring, and I just had not correlated that I was not in that space. I was in a terrible shape, and everything you just described was a true fact.
Yeah.
Like, those are the results. And since I've changed it, tweaked over the last 12 months, right at 12 months that I started my journey. It was last August. I ran my first mile back to exercising. I felt the difference in 12 months. Like, I mean, the best shape of my life compared to wherever I was before, which was just down and out. So that story is very relevant. It's not made up. It's true.
100%, man. Well, to kind of wrap things up, I just wanted to give the listeners some action steps. Like I said earlier, a handful that I have here. Start small, like Ewan said earlier, with just daily movement. Commit to at least 15 to 30 minutes of physical activity each day, whether it's walking, running, lifting weights, or doing some type of yoga, stretching. Just get moving consistently. We have a Level Up and Live run club every Saturday if you're local here in Montgomery County from 5:30 to 6:30 a.m. It's completely free at the CHS Stadium. Also, prioritize sleep. 7 to 8 hours is typically the bread and butter. You just show up differently. The old conventional, traditional wisdom of you got to grind, you got to hustle, sleep 5 hours a day so you can have, more time for phone calls and success. It's a recipe for disaster from my experience. If I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep, I'm able to not only outproduce, but be productive and focus and get quality output during the intervals that I work. So sleep is crucial, not only for mental clarity, but also recovery and energy. Also, fuel your body right. Focus on a balanced diet and whole foods. We've talked about that in this episode, 80-20 rule, lean proteins, vegetables, fruits, and healthy fats. If you need help with this, I'd be more than happy to help. Text 936-788-4295, 936-788-4295 if you need some assistance on there on stuff that works for me. Avoid excessive caffeine, sugar, and processed foods that drain energy in the late afternoons. I typically stick anywhere from 200 to 300 milligrams of caffeine per day, and I drink about 120 ounces of water to stay hydrated. A few more action steps: manage stress with exercise, like we've talked about. Incorporating that physical activity is a way to relieve stress. You're going to have a lot of stress if you're in sales, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're business. You've got to be able to relieve that stress. Take a quick break, do stretches, do breathing exercises. Right before this podcast episode, my Garmin has a 6-minute breath work. I did 6 minutes and I did a release, and then I was ready to transition into podcast. Go for a short walk as well. To wrap things up, set fitness goals and track progress. Just like in business, what gets measured or gets managed. So set measurable fitness goals. Run a 5K, lift some certain weight, do some push-ups. You can use apps like MyFitnessPal or journals to track progress. And leverage fitness for team building. My entire team comes to a run club every single Saturday. Also, our team at the Level Up and Live at the Level Up and Live company, we go and we all train together, walk together, run together every Saturday from 5:30 to 6. It builds chemistry, and we have a good time doing it. So incorporating that will not only get your dopamine, your endorphins going, but it will also help your business culture. Hire a coach or join a mastermind group. We offer that here at Level Up and Live. Again, if you're interested, 936-788-4295. Get a personal trainer if you're needing help with personal exercises. This will allow you to hold yourself accountable. If you struggle with what to put in your body and you struggle with exercise and you're a business owner, focus on being a business owner, focus on those things, and then hire a personal trainer to hold you accountable or join a run club. And then last but not least, reflect on your wins and learn from your setbacks. This was a big one for me. The reason me and Ewan are able to share all these different things is because reflecting on our wins and learning from our setbacks, challenges, trials, and errors, we can help you avoid the same failures that we've went through. And then at the end of each week, reflect on your progress, celebrate the wins, and adjust your approach where it's needed, both in fitness and business. Ewan, you got anything to add to that?
Man, I think that covers it all, man. I mean, that's the blueprint for a great life.
Amen to that. Well, thanks so much for listening to the episode today. Guys, drop it in the reviews what you liked about the episode. Share it with another sales, entrepreneur, business owner, entrepreneur. This is how we get our word out. This is how we're able to help more people, is by sharing, is caring. Make sure to like and subscribe. Outside of that, level up and live.
Level up and live.